It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Kirkstall Brewery in Leeds, and this is their Tiramisu Stout. This beer is coming in at 5.5% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Part of a 4 for 3 deal in ASDA. New beer into ASDA as of 2024, April 2024. 4 for 3 deal, so you buy 3 cans, you get your 4th free. If you buy it individually, this beer, it will cost you £3. If you buy it as part of the 4 for 3 deal, it will cost you in the region of £2.25. So, without further ado then, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Kirkstall, it's just one of these breweries that kind of brew great things. They've recently, they picked up North Brewing Company. North got in a little bit of financial trouble and they bought North, they picked up North. I'm not sure if it was all of it. I'm not sure if North kept all of their bars and they just sold the brewery. Quite sure on what happened there. But Tiramisu Stout, if you give me a Kirkstall IPA, if you give me a Kirkstall Pale Ale, I'll lap it up, I'll drink it, I'll enjoy it. I've drank some wonderful beers from Kirkstall over the last 2 to 3 years. They're just one of those breweries that just get on with their job, producing really good beer, and it's damn tasty. It's really damn tasty, their beer. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here. I'm not so sure on this. Tiramisu kind of suggests that it might be one of those sweet stouts. I'm more of a traditional stout drinker. I like my bitter roasted chocolate, coffee and caramel flavours from a traditional stout. Good mouthfeel, maybe an oatmeal stout, something like that. The moment you start kind of calling things Tiramisu Stout or Galaxy Chocolate Stout or Bounty Bar Stout or whatever, then it immediately makes me do this a little bit. Like I'm like holding the beer at arm's length, like, what do we have here? It's just my drinking style. It's just my own personal opinion. That's what you're tuning in for, just my own personal opinion. You might love a sweet stout, so just kind of like take this review as it comes, really. If you like a sweet stout, and I'm calling it a sweet stout, go out and try it and buy it. But it may not be for me. So, there's no sediment. Oh, actually, let's have a little nose. There might be little speckles of sediment in the bottom of the glass. It's more or less a jet black beer in the glass. We got a 1 finger. It was probably a 2 finger tan coloured head when I began to talk. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. It smells okay, actually. There's a lot of roasted flavour coming through. There's quite a bit of chocolate, coffee, caramel flavours coming through. Bitter coffee, a little bit of sweet caramel. Cacao nibs, bitter cacao nibs. Chocolate, brilliant. Let's try it. It smells pretty decent, actually. Cheers, everybody. Oh, it's Kirkstall. It is pretty decent. Actually, it's quite pretty brilliant. Oh, it's good. This is good. Do you know what it reminds me of? Does anybody remember Young's Double Chocolate Stout? Wells and Young's Brewery. Young's did a double chocolate stout. I was actually sent a can all the way from America. That can landing from America was, let me talk about this beer. This is not a Wells & Young's review, is it? This is a Kirkstall Brewery review. Let's concentrate on this before I start telling all war stories. It's lovely. It's nutty. It's biscuity. It's bready. It's quite creamy and rich, but a little bit thin. And I like that because it's kind of like floating in between being refreshing but quite stout-like at the same time. So you're getting like a refreshing touch, and then you're getting this touch of like creamy richness at the same time. It's pretty good, you know, it's pretty good. I got it all in the glass as well. So it's 5.5% ABV. It suggests on the can, it suggests like it's going to be way too sweet, like those vocation beers, those vocation celebration beers. Remember them? I thought, oh, that was such a low point for vocation. They were awful, absolutely awful. And I've been really guarding since then, since those beers launched by Vocation. I've been really guarded by, I've been on the back foot, if you like. When I see something like this, Tiramisu Stout, I immediately think of those awful Bounty beers and the Mars Bar beers and the Twix beers from Vocation. They were awful. But this has got a lot of roasted malt. There is sweetness there. Don't get me wrong, there is sweetness there, but it's balanced. It's balanced sweetness between sweetness and bitterness. I really like this. I really like this. It's roasted, it's sweet. There's roasted malt coming through. There's normal malt flavours coming through. There's a little bit of sweetness coming through from the malt. I really like this. Kirkstall Brewery, they just continuously hammer out fantastic beers. They really do. I'm a big fan of this. Big fan. This dessert-inspired stout uses North Star coffee and natural flavourings to create the flavour of a classic tiramisu, and it's vegan friendly. So yeah, you get that coffee flavour coming through. It's really good. I really like that. 4 for 3 deal in ASDA, £2.25 in the deal, £3 a can on its own. ASDA have done some fantastic things with beer in April of 2024. The range of beer that they've launched has been fantastic. Go out and try it. But I want to finish with this story from Wells & Young's because I did start. I got sent a can of beer in 2011 from America because they only sold Young's Double Chocolate Stout in a big can in America at the time. Coincidentally, Wells & Young's actually asked me to their brewery in Bedfordshire, and I did this kind of tour like flipping heck, like 13 years ago. People loved it. I was chatting with the marketing team at Wells & Young's. I mentioned that, have you seen the review, the Young's Double Chocolate Stout? And they were like, that's only available in America. That's only an American beer. We brew it specifically for America and sell it under the Young's brand. And I think I got some cogs going in people's minds that day. Certainly Joanne, who I was kind of dealing with at the time, from Wells & Young's. And they ended up, she emailed me and she said, we've decided off the back of this beer being sent from America to you, we're going to launch it into UK supermarkets. So Young's Double Chocolate Stout double chocolate stout off the back of a can being sent to me from America. Ended up in places like Morrison's and Tesco's and Sainsbury's. It was incredible. Incredible times back then. They were really were cool times. But you don't see it so much anymore. You used to see Young's double chocolate stout quite a lot. The reason why I mention all of this is because this tastes very similar. This tastes very similar to Wells and Young's, or Young's double chocolate stout. It's good. I'm going to rate it. It looks good. It smells good. It tastes good. I like the beer enough to give it a Stone the Crow's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. That's such a big turnaround to give this beer a 9 out of 10, because I was so wary. I was so cautious of it going into the review. I was thinking, oh man, tiramisu, going to be sweet. Nothing of it. Fantastic. Really good. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.